Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping into something that seems small, but is actually kicking off a huge revolution in how we talk to AI. It's a single feature, and trust me, it might not look like a big deal at first, but it's a massive leap forward for AI coding tools.
And look, this isn't just me saying it. Check out this quote from agentic engineer indie dev Dan. I mean, that's a pretty bold claim, right? He's not just hyping up some small update for an AI tool. No, he's saying this one thing, this one feature, is the start of what he calls viable generative UI. We're talking about a whole new era here.
So what in the world is generative UI? Well, the idea is actually pretty simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Imagine this. Instead of the AI just spitting back a bunch of text at you, it actually builds a custom, interactive interface just for you, right there on the fly, for whatever task you're doing.
And honestly, this comparison really says it all. On the left, you've got what we're all used to, right? A big, messy block of raw HTML code. It's dense, it's hard to read, it's a pain. But now, look at the right. With this new feature, that exact same code instantly turns into a clean, formatted, totally interactive guide. The difference is just it's night and day. A total game changer.
Okay, so you're probably wondering, how is this even possible, right? How do we go from that wall of code to a custom-built UI with just one feature? It almost sounds like magic, doesn't it?
Well, the secret sauce here is a feature called output styles. The best way to think about it is like a brand new toolbox. It's full of tools that give you really precise control over how your AI agent talks back to you.
So inside this toolbox, you've got 6 different styles. The AI can give you a standard text response, or it can organize stuff into a neat table. It can give you structured YAML, or be super concise to save you tokens. It can even, get this, summarize its work out loud. All of these are pretty handy for sure. But there's one that's in a league of its own.
And yeah, the source is really clear about this. All those other formats, they're nice to have. But there is one output format that is just way more important than all of them. And that, my friends, is the HTML format. This is where things get really interesting.
See, when you ask the agent to respond in HTML, you're not just getting a block of text anymore. You're getting a tool that builds its own UI. That one simple command unlocks its ability to create these rich guides, interactive data visualizations, basically custom interfaces for whatever you ask it. It's like it's building a new app just for you every single time.
All right, so that's pretty amazing for one AI agent. Generative UI makes it super powerful. But what happens when you're juggling more than one? This is where we hit our next big challenge, scaling up. I mean, how do you manage a whole team of these agents working at the same time? Because let's be real, if you're doing any kind of serious work, you're not just running one instance. You've probably got 3, 5, maybe even 10 or more agents all chugging away on different things at once. And that can get messy and really chaotic, really fast.
So this really splits the problem in two, doesn't it? On one hand, you've got output styles, which help you make each agent better. But on the other hand, you have status lines, which help you manage more agents, better agents, and more agents. 2 different problems, 2 different tools.
And the solution here is so simple, it's brilliant. You can customize these status lines to show the very last prompt you gave each agent. Just like that, you have a perfect, at-a-glance dashboard of what every single window is working on. It just cuts right through all that confusion and lets you jump between tasks without missing a beat. Okay, so let's step back for a second. We've got 2 features here, output styles and status lines. Both seem pretty simple on the surface, but they're incredibly powerful. And that's not an accident. It actually points to a much deeper engineering philosophy.
And to really get this philosophy, we have to talk about something called the big 3 of agentic systems. The idea is that for an engineer, there are 3 things you absolutely must control at every single step. The context you give the AI, the model you decide to use, and of course the prompt you write. These are your fundamental levers of control.
And this is where the big argument comes in. On one side, you have unopinionated primitives. These are simple, flexible tools like output styles that give you, the engineer, total control over those big 3.
But on the other side, you have opinionated features. These are the complex black box features that try to make decisions for you, and you don't always know what's going on under the hood.
And this quote just perfectly captures that mindset. It's not saying that fancy features are inherently bad. The point is that any feature that obscures or takes control away from the engineer, that's a problem. It's like, don't tell me how to use the models, just give me the tools. Anything that gets in the way of that direct control is a huge red flag.
So let's bring it all together. What does this new toolkit actually mean for you and how you're going to work with AI in the future?
When you boil it all down, the fundamental goal here is super simple. It's all about increasing the information rate between you and your AI agents. Think of it like upgrading your internet connection to the AI. It's all about creating a higher bandwidth, a faster, clearer channel between you and the machine.
So what are the big takeaways here? First, AI can now literally build its own UI on the fly to talk to you better. Second, we're seeing that simple, unopinionated features are often the most powerful ones because they keep you in the driver's seat. And third, the future isn't about working with just one AI, it's about managing whole teams of AI agents. It's all moving toward a true high-bandwidth partnership.
And that leaves us with a really fascinating question to chew on, doesn't it? Think about it. We went from typing into a command line to clicking on graphical interfaces, and now we have interfaces that are being generated on the spot by an AI just for the task at hand. So if an AI can build its own interface to communicate with you, what's next? What is the next big evolution for how we interact with our computers? Something to think about for sure.